Honestly, though, I don't know what these big tech companies are thinking because this go woke stuff is not really, this cultural war go woke stuff is not really working financially. Um, they banned the initial ban. Every time they ban people, they lose funding and stock drops because they lose more than the people they ban. People they leave because people are banned because but they and then they banned like the other day they banned a bunch of more people. Twitter. This is Twitter specifically. So they banned that huge purge that came after the Capitol riots. Twitter lost what I think the internet said $5 billion, $5 billion. It might have been up to seven. Anyway, somewhere between 4 and 7. I know I'm not late. Let's see if I can look this up because I want to get it right. And then you got they did another ban recently within the last couple of days or so, in 70,000 ban, and they lost a few more $1 million. It's like crazy. Yes, Twitter stock drops. Tech lead stock retreat from record high. Twitter stock drops in the first trading day after Trump ban as much as 12.3% on Monday morning. Yeah, see, like, so, like, their value is plummeting, and, like, people flushed to Parler even more than they already flushed to Parler when Facebook banned, to the point where they had to attack Parler to try and continue to do what they're doing with this tech oligarchy bullshit. Seriously. And now the Parler CEO is like doing a bunch of things, but we'll get into that in a minute. I don't understand where they think this is going. Like Gab is growing, Gab is up, Minds is up, all tech is booming. There are people that created their like this. There are people that create their own platforms. This type of like mass censorship, uh, deplatforming shit don't work. Look at Alex Jones. They tried to deplatform that motherfucker, and he has more fucking followers than ever. He just built his own platform over at Infowars, uh, and he just, oh my god, all these people you deplatform, they just go to these protests with microphones and megaphones, and they gain more followers. You did nothing. Your deplatforming them did not stop their message. It did not. It did absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You succeeded in nothing with your show of ignorance and your dick measuring contests. Absolutely nothing. You didn't get no tangible gain or no strategic value for what you did. None. None whatsoever. You just became an echo chamber. And your Gab is going to become even more of an echo chamber. I mean, they started by like pretty like religious people over there, and that's not my thing. But you got to join all these alt. Hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Like those alt techs are gonna boom. Those like the ones that survive, like Gab, that has their own infrastructure in place and they have their own servers and they can because they just set up another server and they can survive. They're gonna grow because they can survive. And we got to bring some libertarians up over on Gab and start changing up that echo tamer, start mixing up that cultural salad because we need decentralized internet networks. We need communications that are secure, that the government, corporations, big tech, any tyrannical oligarchical any example, we can't allow our communications to be disrupted. Like I said yesterday, communications disruptions mean one thing: it's a precursor to war. It always is a precursor to war, whether it's intentional or unintentional. Communications disruption is the first step towards all-out war. The second is usually they try to disarm the local populace. And they're talking about trying to disarm us through executive order and stuff. And Biden was talking about a gun buyback. So, like, I think they want war. I think they want it. They want to take over the country. They want to depopulate us for this great reset stuff. And that's the ultimate goal. I think that's why Twitter don't really care about money. But they might not survive this though, because even if we depopulate or whatnot, the economy got to function, and the economy doesn't function without resources and money. And if you tank yourself, you're not going to survive what's to come. You're just not. The first Revolutionary War, like 30 years. Can you survive a full generation bleeding money? I don't think so. In a Great Depression, resource scarce economy, I don't fucking think you can. I don't know if they fully understand what they're doing. I think they're blinded by their tribalism because it just doesn't make sense to me. Long term survival, like as a business standpoint, it doesn't make sense to me. Because eventually the populist left and the populist right are gonna unite because they have a whole lot more in common than they do against each other. They're gonna unite. They're gonna burn this mother to the ground, and we're gonna reach a new great compromise. Our founding fathers designed the country that way. Our values were taught and instilled and written the way they were to produce this effect. It is the last check and balance. Hell, Thomas Jefferson's on record written down record quoting that it should happen every 20 years, or God help us when it does happen. And it's been fucking a lot longer than 20 fucking years. So God help us, huh? But we really can't afford to be fighting each other. We have to unfuck this mess like ASAP because, like I said, China's doing beach and drills. They're doing joint military exercises in Canada. They're buying up farmland all over America, and we have to focus on ourselves. And that begins with rebuilding our communications and unfucking this tech censorship BS by creating or help grow alternate technology. And you can help. If you're tech or web savvy and you have the fundage to like create a business and sustain it and whatnot, create a web hosting service like Amazon. That way, it's an alternative for people like Parlor, so they can't happen what they're happen, and they can't like, oh, we don't think you're going to enforce your policies, and so we're going to tell you to enforce our policies, or feel the hammer, and they say no, and then the hammer comes down, and they get banned from the app stores, and like, all right, well, you just go on the browser or download the APK, and you can still put it on your phone. And then they were like, oh, Amazon kicks them off of their service, so they can't even host their shit. That type of shit needs to end too, and we need to create and grow alternate web hosting services for that. I don't know if there is an alternate for them for that, but I know they're they got some plans in the work that they're going to be coming out here. I hope they can survive, and we'll talk a little bit in a minute.